What if the secret to clearer thinking, sharper focus, and emotional balance isn't in your brain but in your gut? You might not realize it, but right now, there's an entire universe living inside you, billions of microscopic organisms, quietly shaping the way you think, feel, and even make decisions. The connection between your gut and your mind is so powerful that some scientists now call the gut your second brain. And when it's out of balance, it can cloud your thoughts, drain your motivation, and leave you feeling mentally exhausted no matter how much you rest. Today, we're diving deep into the hidden connection between gut health and mental clarity. How your digestive system silently controls your brain, mood, and energy, and what you can do to restore balance and finally feel clear-headed again. The gut-brain highway. Imagine a superhighway running straight from your stomach to your brain. It's real, and it's called the gut-brain axis. This isn't a blader, poetic metaphor. It's a literal communication network made up of nerves, hormones, and chemicals constantly sending messages between your gut and your central nervous system. The main line of this communication is the vagus nerve, a massive information pathway that acts like a two-way radio, letting your brain and gut talk to each other 24/7. When you feel butterflies in your stomach before a big presentation or lose your appetite when you're anxious, that's your gut-brain connection in action. But it also works the other way. When your gut is inflamed, imbalanced, or full of the wrong bacteria, it sends distress signals that can cause mental fog, anxiety, or low motivation. The gut doesn't just digest food, it influences how you think and who you are. Your gut produces around 95% of your body's serotonin, the feel-good chemical that stabilizes mood and promotes a sense of calm and focus. It also produces dopamine, which fuels motivation, and GABA, which helps you relax. So if your gut is out of balance, your brain's chemistry follows. The gut-brain axis is not just a connection, it's a command system. When it's healthy, you feel clear, focused, and emotionally stable. When it's disrupted, you feel scattered, foggy, and constantly tired. How gut health shapes your thoughts. Most people think of digestion as something that happens down there, far away from the brain. But the truth is, your gut and mind are locked in a constant chemical dialogue. Every bite of food you eat changes the messages your gut sends to your brain. Inside your intestines live trillions of microbes collectively known as the gut microbiome. Think of it as an ecosystem made up of good bacteria, bad bacteria, yeast, and even viruses. When the good guys dominate, your body produces clean energy, regulates hormones, and supports clear thinking. But when harmful bacteria take over due to poor diet, stress, or antibiotics, it can trigger inflammation and chemical imbalances that affect your mood and focus. This inflammation doesn't stay in the gut, it travels through the bloodstream and can reach the brain. Scientists call this process neuroinflammation, and it's one of the leading causes of brain fog, fatigue, and even anxiety or depression. It's not that your mind is failing, it's that your brain is reacting to chaos in your gut. A healthy gut supports the production of short-chain fatty acids, such as butyrate, which have anti-inflammatory effects and strengthen the barrier between your gut and bloodstream. When that barrier breaks down, a condition often called leaky gut toxins can escape and affect your brain's chemistry. That's when you start experiencing cloudy thinking, memory problems, or that heavy mental slowness that coffee can't fix. The role of gut bacteria in mood and focus. Your gut bacteria don't just help you digest food, they literally talk to your brain through neurotransmitters. Certain bacteria species produce serotonin, dopamine, and acetylcholine, the same chemicals responsible for happiness, focus, and alertness. For example, beneficial strains like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium help reduce anxiety and improve cognitive performance. When these bacteria flourish, your brain receives signals that calm stress responses and enhance concentration. But when they die off or get outnumbered by harmful microbes, your brain loses its chemical balance. Have you ever noticed that after eating processed junk or heavy fast food, your mood drops and your thoughts feel fuzzy? That's not coincidence, it's chemistry. Junk food feeds harmful bacteria that thrive on sugar and saturated fats, crowding out the beneficial ones. In contrast, diets rich in fiber, fermented foods, and antioxidants feed the bacteria that boost your mood and sharpen your focus. So, mental clarity isn't just about willpower, it's about biology. If your gut bacteria are unhappy, your brain will be too. Stress. The silent disruptor of gut and mind. Stress might feel like it lives in your head, but its first victim is your gut. When you're anxious, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones prepare your body to fight or flee, but they also reduce blood flow to the digestive system, slow metabolism, and alter your microbiome's balance. Chronic stress can thin the protective lining of your gut, weaken digestion, and cause inflammation, all of which send danger signals to your brain. Over time, this can make you feel tired, unfocused, or emotionally unstable, even when nothing is wrong externally. The gut and brain feed each other stress. When the gut becomes inflamed, it sends stress signals to the brain, and the brain responds with even more cortisol, which makes the gut worse. It's a vicious cycle. Breaking that cycle requires calming both systems simultaneously. Deep breathing, mindfulness, and slow eating all activate the parasympathetic nervous system, also known as the rest and digest mode. When this system turns on, your gut relaxes, your digestion improves, and your brain receives signals of safety and clarity. The inflammation connection. Why foggy minds begin in the gut. When people talk about brain fog, they usually imagine a lack of sleep or too much caffeine. But one of the biggest hidden causes of mental fog is systemic inflammation, especially inflammation that begins in the gut. When harmful bacteria multiply, they release toxins known as lipopolysaccharides. These molecules can breach your gut lining, enter your bloodstream, and travel to your brain, where they trigger an immune response. Your brain's immune cells, called microglia, start fighting off these invaders, but in the process, they slow down brain function, reduce energy flow, and cloud cognition. That's why you might experience trouble focusing, forgetfulness, or even mild depression after periods of unhealthy eating or digestive distress. The fog isn't in your head, it's inflammation clouding the way your neurons fire. The clearer your gut, the clearer your mind. Reducing inflammation by eating anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, berries, fatty fish, and probiotics helps calm both your stomach and your brain. Because mental clarity starts with the health of your inner ecosystem, not just your thoughts. The gut's role in energy and motivation. Ever notice that when your digestion feels heavy, your mind does too? That's no coincidence. The gut is one of the biggest energy consumers in your body. When digestion is inefficient or inflamed, your body redirects energy to deal with damage control instead of cognitive function. Your gut bacteria help extract nutrients from food, especially vitamins like B12 and folate, which are crucial for brain energy and mental alertness. If your microbiome is weak or unbalanced, your brain simply doesn't get the fuel it needs. Over time, this lack of proper nutrient absorption can cause persistent fatigue, mood swings, and difficulty concentrating. It's not laziness, it's biochemical exhaustion. A healthy gut gives your brain clean energy. It regulates blood sugar levels, reduces cortisol spikes, and ensures a steady release of mental focus throughout the day. That's why people who fix their gut health often describe it as turning the lights back on in their brain. The mind-gut feedback loop. Here's something even more fascinating. Your thoughts can change your gut's behavior. The gut-brain connection isn't just physical, it's emotional and psychological. When you're under stress, angry, or fearful, your brain releases neurotransmitters that affect digestion, acid levels, and gut motility. If you're constantly anxious, your gut bacteria can actually shift to mirror your emotional state. Some studies show that chronic negative thinking patterns encourage growth of bacteria linked to inflammation and anxiety. Meanwhile, positive emotional states, gratitude, and relaxation can encourage the growth of beneficial strains. This means your thoughts and emotions can shape your physical microbiome, and your microbiome, in turn, shapes your thoughts. It's a two-way mirror, constantly reflecting one another. The better you treat your emotions, the healthier your gut becomes, and the clearer your mind feels. Practices like mindfulness, journaling, and slowing down at meals are not just spiritual habits, they are microbiome medicine. Healing the gut to clear the mind. If you've been struggling with brain fog, anxiety, or chronic fatigue, healing your gut might be the missing piece. The process starts with awareness, recognizing that mental clarity is not separate from physical health. Begin by simplifying your diet. Cut down on processed foods, refined sugar, and excessive caffeine, which all disrupt gut bacteria. Focus on whole, colorful foods that grow from the earth. Add fermented foods for probiotics and fiber-rich foods for prebiotics. Drink water throughout the day, and give your body regular mealtimes. Sleep is another pillar. Your gut and brain both regenerate while you sleep. Irregular sleep schedules disturb your microbiome rhythm just as much as they disrupt your mind. Prioritize 7 to 9 hours of consistent, high-quality rest. Movement also matters. Exercise doesn't just strengthen muscles, it enhances gut diversity and improves mood by stimulating serotonin production. Even a daily 20-minute walk can transform the gut-brain balance. And finally, calm your mind. Meditation, deep breathing, and mindful gratitude reduce cortisol and allow your digestive system to reset. When your body senses peace, your gut functions naturally, and your brain receives signals of stability instead of stress. The inner conversation that shapes your mental clarity is not just a mindset, it's a biological state that begins deep within your digestive system. The foods you eat, the thoughts you think, and the way you handle stress all shape this delicate communication. So the next time you feel foggy or unmotivated, don't just look to your mind for answers, listen to your gut. Because in many ways, your gut isn't just feeding your body, it's feeding your brain. And when both speak the same language of balance and health, your whole world begins to feel clearer, calmer, and alive again.